This is music, and this is another dungeon dive. So here we are at the entrance of the dungeon, and those of you who haven't watched any of these dungeon dive videos, I can just tell you that the Danish demo dungeon is a website that archives demo tapes by Danish, mainly metal artists from the underground, from the late 80s, sometimes even earlier actually, but from the late 80s throughout the 90s and a bit after the 90s. So what we're interested in looking at this time is Agonize, and they're right here, the first band on the list. And I think this is a really cool logo. There's a kind of like a simplified version of it here, which is okay, but I really like this logo here. Now, I gotta say, just, you know, right off the bat, this is a band, I feel like they got cheated. These guys should have been signed on one of the major metal labels at the time, or maybe even like a mid-tier label, because the two demos that are in the Danish demo dungeon, and which I think are the only demos they made, are actually really good. These guys were cheated, I think, out of a professional career as musicians. So this is a photo of the band, and I think this is the lineup that appears on the first demo, because on the second demo they had added another guitarist, so they're like a 5-piece. So the style that we are dealing with it's described as death thrash. It is certainly thrash metal, and it's very, very fast and speedy thrash metal. Not like speed metal, but just really fast, blistering, blazing fast tempos, and really, really aggressive. But let's have a look at the two demos. And I'm not sure I've mentioned this in any of the earlier demo dungeon videos, but in many cases you can actually listen to the songs from the demo in question, right? If it's a link like this, you can actually listen to it, and I would recommend doing that. So this is their first demo called Fall from 1991, and if you just look at the cover artwork, you might think it's perhaps some kind of early black metal stuff, or maybe some doom metal or something like that, but we're dealing with thrash metal, right? And I guess you could call it death thrash. I don't think it's quite death thrash, but it's pretty close. So there are like 4 songs in this demo here. This is when they were a 4-piece. All the songs are very, very fast, very aggressive. It's very similar to the first Invocator album, I would say, except Agonize are not quite as technical. The songs are kind of complex. There are a lot of things going on in the songs, a lot of changes and so on and so forth. But the sort of attraction point to the first demo, Fall, is really how fast the songs are, and also how well produced it actually is for a demo. This could have been an EP released on maybe a mid-tier underground maybe label. It sounds pretty professional in my opinion. Songs are well composed, well performed, it's well produced. I don't think there are any guitar solos on this first demo, which I think is interesting. But that's probably because they were a 4-piece and they were focusing more on the songs rather than, showing off, which is perfectly fine. All the songs are good, and you really have to listen to them. And I think when you listen to them, you will see why I think this sounds very professional, and also why I think you could argue that they were kind of cheated out of a career. They should have had a chance to release some music officially as full-length albums on a label, but that didn't happen. Well, kind of happened. I'll get back to that. But that's Fall. So you have Innovaphobia, you have In Absence of Comfort, you have Forsaken by Sanity, you got The Disclosure. All, in my opinion, great thrash metal songs. The vocals are perhaps the weak point. Now, we're not dealing with a bad or weak as such vocalist. He's aiming for some sort of aggressive, barked out vocals, kind of like just below, I guess, growling, but it's more like just an angry dude shouting stuff at you, and it's not bad. It's maybe kind of like in the vein of Max Cavalera, but you can hear that he needs to I guess just become a bit more comfortable with using his voice like that. I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't detract or anything from the overall demo. And if I were like a record label representative and I heard this demo, I would have them signed for sure. So the vocals are not bad or anything, but they are perhaps, if there is any weak point to this demo, might be the vocals, right? That's pretty much all I'm saying. Now, on Promo 93 from 93, or Promo Demo, I guess is actually the title, just has 3 songs on it. You can hear that the vocals have really matured. He sounds great on this demo. He sounds really aggressive. His voice, he's found kind of the place for his voice where it sounds powerful and maybe menacing. It fits the music perfectly. They've added a second guitarist here, so you got some solos. The production is actually not as professional sounding on this demo than on Fall, but that doesn't mean that it sounds bad or anything. It actually still sounds pretty good for a 90s demo tape. The songs are within the same style, aggressive, up-tempo, thrashy, well, not thrashy, outright thrash metal songs, and you could perhaps argue that this is a bit closer, maybe within death thrash territory, but I think that's mainly because of the vocals, right? That he's sort of found like an almost sort of semi-deathy kind of way of performing his vocals. I wouldn't consider it growls though, but in any case, it's just as good musically. The songs are fast, they're furious. Maybe there's a bit more kind of mid-tempo and groove, not like groove metal, but you know, head-bobbing bits. And as I said, the guitar solos. But it's still very well composed, very well performed. The production is not as professional sounding, and the guitar solos suffer a bit from that, maybe because they sound a bit thin. They're not badly performed or anything. It has this typical demo lead guitar sound to it, a bit thin. But there's nothing wrong with the quality of the music. So this could also, I mean, the 3 songs in this album, demo, they could appear in an album. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, right? So I would say check them out if you like thrash metal, if you like fast, aggressive thrash metal. If you like the first Invocator album, but you're fine with something that's slightly less technical, I would certainly recommend that you listen to these songs. They are right here, that you check them out. Based on these 2 demos, as I've sort of hinted at before, I would say that I feel like Agonize got cheated, to be perfectly honest. Or Agonize. I feel they got cheated out of a career. They deserved the chance to release a couple of records on a major or mid-tier level. This is really a shame, but we still have these demos. You can still check them out. You can still listen to it. And they were actually sort of compiled on a CD that was released, I don't remember when, but it was released on Dark Symphonies Productions, I think it's called. There aren't that many issues of it, but it is possible, if you're interested in having a physical copy of these demos without having to track down actual demo tapes. There is a CD reissue from it's quite recent. As I said, I don't really remember exactly when, and I think it's on Dark Symphonies. I think there are only 1,000 copies, so it's still kind of a rarity, but it is out there. So I would, I mean, you can listen to it here, you can download them, so you can, carry them, I guess, along with you on your MP3 player if you use that. So you do have access to them here, but it's also possible to get some sort of physical format in the form of a CD. But as I said, I feel like these guys got cheated because this is really good stuff. So that was Agonize, very good in my opinion. Thrash metal band that, I mean, they should have become bigger, to be perfectly honest with you. They should have been on a label, they should have released some albums, because those two demos are really good in my opinion. Anyways, thanks for watching.